and welcome back to another episode of Epic Pokey with me, AP. I am a collector and investor, and this is my channel covering everything Pokemon TCG, One Piece TCG, and all the others, which we'll see featuring in the future. So today, I just obviously wanted to speak a little bit about, what's going on in the market and, just being smart with your investments, purchasing. Obviously not getting brought into either like FOMO or basically panic buying, because with Pokemon, the more and more product that is getting released, which is getting released crazy, like the Pokemon company and the printers are literally running an overtime. New releases all coming out. I mean, we've got obviously Black Bolt and White Flare, obviously got Prismatic Evolutions, Journeys Together, Destined Rivals, and then there's going to be a new Mega Charizard X or featured Mega Evolution set coming in on the horizon also as well. So it's crazy. The amount of products which they're releasing is absolutely phenomenal, but at the same time it is going to be a little bit hard. What I'm thinking, what really to buy and what really to invest. If you're collecting, great. You're in a fantastic position because you've got so much to collect. Complete your master sets. The only thing that you got really going against you is just securing a product, because it's hard to obviously get the products at the moment because it just gets scalped to high heaven. However, if you've got a trusted distributor, local TGC store, which is a little bit tucked away and does have stock, or like I said, if you pre-ordered it, any sort of avenue you use, you're in a good position. But yeah, it's a bit of a crazy time at the moment. So I just wanted to obviously just do a short video just to obviously speak to everyone in the community, because I've got my sort of take on things, and you've all got your sort of take on things, and obviously been watching a lot of videos from different Poketubers, collectors and investors speaking about their sort of take on it. But I wanted to obviously voice mine also as well, because it's always good to hear different sort of views and versions. But yeah, it's at the moment it's just being smart with your investment. Like, don't get brought into the FOMO with all of the new releases. Like I said, if you're collecting and if you're investing, it's just being really smart with your money, because like I said, it's especially with the newer sets, there's not much historical data you can go off with some of the newer sets. Like I says, running out and waiting in line for an SPC, great. If you're just gonna rip it open, or if you're just gonna keep it sealed, fantastic. If you're running around buying multiple ones just to flip, like who you are, then that's your thing. Everyone each to their own. But if you've obviously thinking about seriously, obviously investing and obviously holding on to it, it's just about strategically placing your money in good investments. So like I said, Swords and Shield boxes right now are a really good investment, like Chilling Rain, Silver Tempest. I know Fusion Strike's actually absolutely taken off overnight, and obviously you've got Evolving Skies, which is always skyrocketing and holding them high values. But yeah, it's a really good time to obviously start picking up some Sword and Shield booster boxes, ETBs, or just some singles, because they're only going to go up. Like I said, right now, Scarlet and Violet era sets, there are some worthwhile investments in there that are obviously out of print. You got obviously base set Scarlet and Violet, that's obviously out of print also now. You're gonna have obviously reprints of, I think there's a Twilight Masquerade. We've also got reprints of Paladin Fates. 151, even though it's actually should have stopped printing, is still going out in a wild. So there's quite a lot of the half booster bundles out there, and obviously you got Blooming Waters, Temporal Forces, Paradox Rift, also as well, and obviously you get a reprint of Surging Spark. So right now, Scarlet and Violet era booster boxes, obviously sets, there's still a lot of that out there. Of course, getting one or two of them, if you want to hold on to and keep them sealed, or if you're going to rip them open for the chase cards and anything like that, great. But at the moment, since Scarlet and Violet era is at its peak, is peaking, cards have cooled down, some products have cooled down also as well, but yeah, just being strategic with it. So I would say look at the historical data on any sort of worthwhile investments. Like I said, look at Sword and Shield era box sets. You know, you got like Lost Origins on there, which is a personal favorite of mine. Look at that, like that. So even though Fusion Strux has overtaken it overnight, look at that, the historical data on that. You know, how is it holding? I know Garantina's obviously just dropped a bit, the single card itself, but you know, there's still worthwhile investment there. So I think that's definitely one you could keep eye on. And other investments, like I says, I know the UPCs and the SPCs, you know, be really careful with, I would say, purchasing too many of them or holding on to too many of them, because like I says, I know the 151 UPC, it was everywhere at one point. No one really wanted it. You know, you could find it on the shelves in Tesco, and then obviously the Pokemon boom came along, blew the lid off everything, and now, you know, it's looking at £300 plus, which, you know, it's just the way it is. You know, stop printing it. You can only get it now, sealed boxes, you can only get it around that price or even more. Exact same with ETBs, Pokemon Center ETBs, you know, they're hard to come by, but you're still getting the products out there in the wild. So I always say don't go for obviously really expensive older sets. Like, I'm not expecting you to obviously start investing in like base set Rocket first editions or Sky Ridge or anything like that. You know, just be sort of vigilant with what you're investing in, and don't get brought into the FOMO. Like, don't go out and start blowing thousands on these new sets. I mean, if you've got disposable income and you know you've got the capabilities to obviously do that, by all means. Like, I'm not your financial advisor. I just want to just share my input in terms of what I think is a healthy investment. So, you know, the newer sets, if you are going to collect them, if you are going to master set them, or if you are going to keep them sealed, you're like, don't go out there and start blowing loads right out the gate. I mean, they look to print these sets for at least a good 2 years, and yeah, we may be going through like a stock drought now just because of, you know, scalpers in the game. But as things get better, like I says, the market's already leveling out, prices are already leveling out. The scalpers aren't gonna hopefully they're still gonna probably be there in the background waiting for their time again, but you know, they will slowly just start to drift and go back into whatever scalping game they was back into. You know, Nintendo, don't shoot me for this, the Switch 2's on the horizon, so they're probably going to scalp that tire, and that'll keep them distracted for a while. If not, well, we'll wait for something else to for them to aim their crosshairs on. But for now, you know, just be really strategic with what sort of, or like I said, where you're placing your money. I always say, yeah, Scarlet and Violet era sets at the moment, they're still out there in the wild. Obviously, earlier sets would probably be your best investment, but Sword and Shield would be a great place to obviously, a great era to obviously to focus on. You know, I would say go and do some historical data on it. I will be covering a few videos on obviously what I think would be, you know, a great starting point for anyone new to the game, or wants to get into the game, or, you know, currently just looking for the next booster box or sealed product to invest in, or even single. You know, we're definitely going to be covering that in the next few videos, but I just want to kind of echo the message out there. That's the best way I could put it. I mean, you know, there's one of the things which I know it's going to be alarming, and like I said, I've only just seen the article, but I don't know if it's going to be hitting here in the UK as Costco's as well, but there is going to be a Prismatic Bundle, and the Prismatic Bundle is going to include, I think it's 2 ATBs and 2 of the half booster bundles. So it's a bit crazy, just purely because we know what happened with the last Costco's release with Blooming Waters. We've all saw the videos, we've also we've read the Reddit reactions, or, you know, the comment section on some of the videos of people absolutely crashing out, losing their minds, and, you know, throwing hands and elbows. Like, it's crazy. Like, he's just crazy. Human nature doesn't surprise me anymore when it comes to certain things. So I didn't think Pokemon would be that one where people are ready to literally like choke each other out over. But yeah, that's where we're at the moment. But yeah, just obviously we've got that sort of new announcement, which is going to be big, purely because we don't know the price point for it yet. Potentially it's going to be announced in 2 weeks, and obviously we don't know how they're going to release it, because they saw the reactions of the people who lined up and tried to obviously get it last time. So whether they're going to bring some sort of new system in, whether they're going to tighten up security, or it's going to be some sort of online only thing. We can only think. Wait, like I said, the article's on there. You'll definitely find the article on Poke Beach. That's where I pulled it from, and yeah, like I said, anything's subject to change. We don't know really what Costco's got planned. Like it says, until he officially announces it, I guess. And says that this is 100% what it's going to be, stamp of approval, see you all there, and hopefully, if anyone is interested in that, depending on how it's going to go down, I hope you can get the product you want, and hopefully the amount you want, but it's more than likely going to be one per customer. I think already it was one per customer, and it's just going to be one of them product releases where it's going to be really, really hyped, and of course you're going to have a load of scalpers licking their lips and rubbing their hands together in the shadows, waiting to try and get as much product as possible so they can flip it. So all I just want to say is that everybody, don't be paying, even if you want the products, each of these runs, they're going to print them for at least 2 years, potentially more. All right, so don't be paying overinflated prices right out of the gate, just out of the fear of missing out. Yeah, you may have to be a little bit more patient, but it'd be worth it in the long run, because you're not feeding into the issue in the industry at the moment, which is that the overinflated prices are making these scalpers come in numbers, and the only way we're going to curb it is, obviously we've got the market correcting themselves, but at the same time we can't be paying these overinflated prices. Like, if it's retailing at £50, why are you going to go and buy it for £100 or £250? It's crazy, but people are doing it. The exact same with the SPC, like retailing at £89, and people are spending £180 on it just to open it. I mean, like, it's Prismatic Evolutions. We need to kind of realign our expectations that the pull rates are absolutely shocking in there. You're going to spend potentially 180 quid or 150, 180 quid, however it is. I can't remember the exact number at the moment, and you could get literally just a couple of Pokeballs, maybe a full art trainer, a spec, and that one SAR. That one. I know people that have absolutely burnt the bank on this set and pulled absolute garbage. Absolute garbage. Do not get me wrong. I love Pokemon and the set's cool, but my integrity as a collector and an investor, and my mental health and financial well-being means more to me than pulling and pouring thousands of pounds into that set. I want to do a master set on it, but I'm purely just going to buy the singles. Alright? At a convenient time. Right now, cards are all shaky. There's still product being pumped out. It's time we just start being a little bit more. We have to be forward thinking. Future proof this. If there's not enough historical data to back it up, you could make money really quickly. You could flip it really quickly as well, because it's in demand. You could be lucky. However, you pouring thousands of pounds into this set to obviously pull £1,000 or £1,500 card, you're gonna be at a loss. You're gonna be killing yourself. So, best thing I could say is be careful, especially with the most recent sets. You got Destined Rivals, you got Black Bolt and White Flare, and obviously we've got the mega set on the horizon. Just be very mindful. Pre-order if you want to. allocation promises, and you know, just allocations all over the place. They say that you pre-order it, it does guarantee you one. We both know that's not, you know, the definitive answer, so be careful with that. You may guarantee you one, may get you one, you might not. If you are going to obviously attend on the day releases, or if you're going to attend pre-releases usually is a good way to go. No, enjoy yourself, be safe. And the exact same on release dates. If you're going to be attending release dates, guys, just go in there and just get your product and just enjoy it. Like, all in to enjoy it. Like, there's obviously going to be a few that are going to ruin it for everyone, because, you know, they want their couple of their surplus of product, trying to oversell it. But yeah, just ignore them and just grab your product and go. Even if you don't get any product, you will get it, so do not worry. Unfortunately, we just have a few, well, I can't say a few, let's just say we have people in the game that are not here to play along with everybody else, who actually here collecting and, you know, spending their time to make this community a wholesome thing. So all I can say is, guys, you know, we're gonna get it. We're gonna get the product that we want. It's just some time that we have to obviously put in, and just wait around and wait for restocks, and just be vigilant. We just gotta think outside the box, because the amount of even on like platforms which I'm using on social media, like you've got like cooking gans using Discords that are literally like, these guys know nothing about Pokemon, absolutely nothing, yet they've literally created a tutorial video on how you can join their Discord and try and cook as soon as they get cook all of the product and bot releases. It's insane, and they're actively advertising this, so other people can pay into their dubious services. So yeah, guys, it's unfortunately that's the time that we're living in. Times will get better. Obviously we're going through the Pokemon boom right now, and, you know, a little bit of a market stabilization, but just be smart with your investments and your money. Like I said, it's just one of those things at the moment. So just when you're out there, have fun. You know, enjoy collecting, whether you're grading it, whether you're just going to keep it raw, you know, whether you have to sell product, or, you know, anything in regards to that. Just, you guys just enjoy it, because this is what it's all about, and we're not going to let the few ruin it for us. But yeah, I always want to see and hear what your guys' thoughts on the current situation. So as always, please like the video, comment down below, and tell me your thoughts on it, and, you know, what are you going to be necessarily investing in, and, you know, in the future, what do you think would be your future plan? I mean, it's just nice to see what your guys' thoughts are going to be in regards to what you know, you think you really want to move your attention to, whether it is in Scarlet and Violet, whether it's in Sword and Shield, or even Sun and Moon, X and Y, you know, Ruby and Sapphire, or any of the older sets whatsoever. You know, it's always nice to hear what you guys have got in your cabinets already graded or looking to. But yeah, that's a wrap for today. Just wanted to do a little bit of a situational update on the sort of community and the industry, as we all know. But it may have turned into a little bit of a rant, but regardless, thanks for hearing me out. You guys are awesome, and I just want to say to everybody, take care of yourselves and take care of each other. Enjoy collecting. I hope your pulls are epic, and your investments are always worthwhile. I'll see you in the next video, everyone, and you all take care. Bye for now. Peace.